We've got, basically with bonus depreciation, this is something that, in general, depreciation of property, you probably, most of you probably understand what that is, but if you buy a big piece of property, either real estate or equipment or vehicles, things like that, you generally cannot deduct all of it right away. You've got to take a little piece over time, all right? So that's the general concept of depreciation. What bonus depreciation basically says is you're allowed to expense a good chunk. Either in the old rule, you see that the old law was 50%. The new law now is 100%. Now, the old law, we were already in a phase-out range or phase-out time frame for bonus depreciation. This is something that already existed. It was being phased out. The tax reform law basically extended it for several more years through the year 2028 and allowed it to go from 50% up to 100%. So that's a big deal. When you've got some equipment that you're trying to deduct or you're purchasing, being able to deduct it immediately, the 100% of it is a really nice feature. It can tremendously help with cash flow. If you're putting a lot of cash into something, you're not really financing it or you're financing a small portion of it, that cash is gone. You want that deduction now. You don't want that deduction 10 years from now. You want it now because that cash is gone. So this really helps out from that perspective. Another big change with this is in the past, only new items were allowed for bonus depreciation. So it had to be brand new. You couldn't buy a used piece of equipment. Now, you can have new and used property. So you can take this on a used piece of equipment or a used item. So that's a new thing. In general, in the past, there were personal property and limited types of real estate improvements, not necessarily the building, but maybe the improvements were allowed. Currently, the personal property is still allowed for this, but qualified improvements of real estate, you may have heard about this drafting error that they say was in the law, that for some reason they kind of left this out, that improvements to properties like interior improvements, unfortunately are not captured under this rule, at least for now. We're thinking at some point we might get a correction on that, but as of right now, it is not allowed. So unfortunately, if you're doing a major renovation to a property like a rental or a business property or something like that, unfortunately, it's going to be depreciated over many years. But sit tight on that. Hopefully, we'll get some changes soon. Another, sure. Yes, any type of business is eligible. The question was, what is it eligible for? Are S corps and C corps eligible to take bonus depreciation? Yes, that's correct. Any type of business.